Elves and the Shoemaker, what is left for humanity when all hope seems lost. In the biting cold of poverty, as dawn approaches and silence settles in the workshop of the last craftsman, it is known that each hammer blow is a prayer, each thread of leather an offering, and each sigh a pact with the invisible. Imagine, behind closed doors something is moving. What seems to be collapsing may actually be the beginning of a silent miracle. The forces of the world often cross the threshold of reason to serve those who, in their humility, never give up. Magic is not merely the spectacle of fantasy. It is the result of honest work, of the simple act of preparing the leather for a new day, even without any guarantee of reward. When you're alone, feeling the weight of failure, who shows up to help? Most believe it's luck or coincidence, but some see, among the shadows, tireless workers, the elves of the brothers Grimm, beings who reward not only effort, but purity of heart, and the ability to silently give thanks for what could never be explained. For everyone who has ever prepared their dreams on the fly, prayed for sustenance, and finally found something miraculous on the counter, this story reveals that true fortune is born from those tiny, invisible hands that never ask for anything in return except genuine gratitude. Would you be able to recognize who is weaving your destiny? And faced with this mystery, would you have the courage to give thanks in such a profound way that it would forever liberate these forces from the world? Discover in the Elves and the Shoemaker the essential fable about talent, reciprocity, and the secret of the miracle that transforms the lives of those who work and wait beyond what is visible. Among the alleyways of a gray city lives a shoemaker whose honor is his greatest treasure. The workshop, cramped, permeated with the smells of leather and glue, is also a refuge from the storm of failure. In the harshest winter, money barely buys flour. The shoemaker watches night after night as his stock dwindles. His hands, once accustomed to the rhythm of orders, now drag as he prepares the remaining leather. The last piece, its resilience transformed into a desperate ritual. At dinner, the silence is heavy. The wife, always discreet, serves the bread tenderly, but in her eyes there is the fear of the end. "Do you think we'll succeed?" He replies, "As long as there is dignity in our fingers, at least we will have something to tell hope." That night, before going to sleep, the shoemaker repeats the old gesture. He lays the leather on the workbench, the lasts ready, the blade sharpened in its usual place. More than work, it is a prayer, the honest plea of someone who believes that the unseen only visits the righteous, even when nothing remains in the world of men. The cold is biting. The wind in the streets whispers promises of impossibility. The shoemaker sends his regards to his wife, decides to trust in fate once more, and turns off the light, lost between doubt and faith. Outside, the city sleeps. Inside, some listen amidst the creaking of the stove and the rustling of the wood. Perhaps someone will come, moved by an impulse of charity or by the force of magic, to weave a new hope in the quietest hours of the night. But in the shoemaker's mind there is only perseverance and humility. He prepares his heart for the worst, but dreams, even if quietly, even if only in the depths of his soul, of some kind of new beginning, though he doesn't know where it might come from. It is in this battlefield between discouragement and courage that the fable of the Elves and the Shoemaker is born. A tale where miracles spring from the shadows, and the only condition for prospering is knowing how to recognize, appreciate, and unleash the force that transforms your entire existence. Chapter 1. The Invisible Miracle. Night, hope, and the first pair of shoes. The hours pass in the workshop where the cold seems to dictate time. The shoemaker wakes before the sun, a long shadow casting doubt across the floor. While his wife sleeps in the next room, he watches the workbench. The blade gleams. The prepared leather awaits. There is no luxury, only routine. With each step, the weight of dreams that were once grand echoes, now shrinking as they await the future. The city awakens in mist. The shoemaker opens the window and smells the aroma of fresh bread coming from the neighboring house, recalling the days when his shoes adorned the noblest couples and the humblest feet. However, now everything is different. The customers disappeared along with the crisis, and the credit payments never come back. The last order delivered was paid for with gratitude and nothing more. "I'll be back when I have money," said the lady from the market. The leather on the last pair is too thin, difficult to work with, risky to make mistakes, but perfect in its honesty. The shoemaker feigns calm, but inside his head a chorus of fears challenges his serenity. What if nobody buys? What if this morning is the end of everything? Still, he performs the ritual. Hands washed, table cleaned, silent prayers circulating between movements. A conversation with yourself. What I can give to the world is my best, even if it's not enough. At that moment, his wife appears, bringing hot tea. "I didn't sleep much. I heard you moving around. I don't want to wake anyone up with my failure." "You're never a failure. You just can't control everything. Sometimes I think it's foolish to insist. Only fools would dishonor their craft. And you create art, even in despair." Morning progresses. The shoemaker decides to go out to sell the newly created pair. Along the way, every face is devoid of hope, but fate decides to defy the odds. A young boy, searching for a gift for his brother, sees the pair of shoes shining among others and decides to buy them. The money covers not only the new leather but also the day's food, and the workshop is filled for a few hours with genuine gratitude. When the shoemaker returns home, his wife embraces him tenderly. "I knew." "What did you know?" Hope never enters through the front door. It arrives from behind when you least expect it. That night, and on the following nights, the routine is repeated. Leather set aside, silent prayer, gesture of faith. But the miracle has not yet revealed itself. It only gives a whiff of it, the aroma of doubt mixed with possibility. Only when the full moon floods the workshop with its pale light does the shoemaker, upon waking, find on the workbench not just a pair of shoes but a perfect work of art. Delicate stitching, an impossible fit, the gleam of someone who knows ancient secrets. Still not understanding, he sells the pair for a high price, buys more leather, and repeats the gesture. But nothing answers the question that occupies his dreams. Who does this while we sleep? In the dark, the wife whispers, "Perhaps they are angels." The shoemaker laughs, "Or perhaps they are elves." And so, the cycle of silent prosperity begins, bringing ever more miracles to the workshop of those forgotten by the world, but not by faith. Chapter 2. Elves at Midnight. The secret revealed. Time passes and, night after night, miracles repeat themselves. Shoe leather laid out on the workbench becomes a masterpiece in the morning. The shoemaker's routine changes. There is no longer fear of hunger, but rather a silent respect for the mystery that pervades his home. With sales booming, the wife buys good flour, fresh vegetables, and prepares the best dinner in years. There's laughter. There's that childlike hope, a reminder of old times when business thrived and no one asked, "How long will this last?" But the secret is starting to bother them. "It's not fair to accept so much without knowing where it's coming from," says the wife. "Those who help without asking for reward deserve deep gratitude," replied the shoemaker. "What if it's not human? What if it's a spirit, a fairy, an elf? So we must take even better care of the gift." The days grow lighter. The shoemaker walks through the city with a different gleam in his eyes, proud of what he offers but modest in what he receives. Entering the church on a winter Sunday, she gives thanks silently. Faith is no longer just hope. It is the recognition of the invisible hand that weaves destinies in the darkness. However, curiosity and gratitude grow together. One night, the wife suggests, "Let's find out who will save us." "How?" "Let's keep watch. I don't want to lose the magic. Only those who are truly grateful will reveal it." They prepare themselves. Covered by blankets, they wait until dawn, breathing softly, their senses alert to any noise or movement. The wind beats against the window. Leaves dance on the roof. The clock announces midnight. Suddenly, a delicate movement emerges from the corner of the workshop. Two tiny elves with bare, glistening skin and eyes that see beyond time. They handle the leather, work in silence, and move tools with supernatural precision. They sew, hammer, measure, cut. They smile amidst indecipherable syllables, a music that is uniquely theirs. In a short time, the miracle is performed again. The couple watches, visibly moved. They have no clothes. They work for us and remain invisible to the world. That morning, the thrill of the revealed secret is worth more than gold. The wife decides, "We're going to sew clothes and boots for them." The shoemaker agrees, and together they select the finest fabrics and the most beautiful scraps, sew carefully, and embroider with care. The gift is discreetly left on the counter next to the prepared leather. Chapter 3. The Gift, the Dance of the Elves, and the End of Magic. When the day ends, there is no anxiety. Everything is ready to be given thanks. The shoemaker and his wife leave two tiny sets of clothes and boots on the workbench, sewn from the softest fabric, decorated with tiny buttons and hand-embroidered passages, crafted with quiet affection. Night falls like a veil of hope and farewell. The couple retires but does not sleep. There is a joy in their hearts that anticipates explicit gratitude. The wind blows through the window, carrying the whispers of bygone days when receiving something was rare, and gratitude, even more so. Sometime between sleep and dreaming, they hear delicate footsteps on the wood. From the shadows, the elves arrive, and upon seeing the gifts, their eyes gleam with pure wonder. They touch the clothes, examine every detail, try on the boots as if putting on a crown. The shoemaker and his wife, peeking in, realize what they had never understood before. The true magic is not just in receiving, but in the act of giving back. Suddenly, the elves begin to dance. They jump, spin, stumble with joy, celebrating their unexpected freedom. The pace is fast. The music only exists for those who have already suffered the cold and now find warmth. The happiness of the invisible has become a spectacle. The dance is short but intense. Soon the elves extend their hands, as if in deep gratitude. They leave through the workshop door, crossing the night without looking back. They disappear forever, taking with them not only their clothes, but the memory of every act of kindness. When the sun streams into the workshop, the shoemaker finds only leather under the workbench. There are no magic shoes, but work has returned to its honest routine. Now each pair carries within its lines the secret of prosperity. The gift no longer depends on the invisible, but on explicit respect for what has been received. The news is spreading through the village. There was never a lack of bread or smiles in that house from the day the shoemaker learned to be grateful. In years to come, whenever they buy something new, the couple tells their children and grandchildren about the mystery of the elves, not as a lucky charm, but as a lesson. No one walks alone. The impossible visits the humble, but only stays where there is gratitude and courage to reciprocate. The cycle concludes with a celebration. Magic has been returned to the world through recognition, and human endeavors become sufficient, strengthened by the touch of those who never seek glory. The invisible effect, gratitude, autonomy, and restored magic. Time passes, and that small miracle profoundly transforms the shoemaker and his wife. The workshop continues, but it no longer depends on hidden forces. The prosperity gained through the gifts of the elves proves to be lasting, not because of the hidden gold, but because of the wisdom acquired. In the village, the shoemaker is remembered as an example. His humility, explicit gratitude, and respect for the cycle of giving became lessons for generations. Each time he prepares his leather, he remembers the elves' efforts, and each time he sews a shoe, he feels the commitment to honor not only his own work, but all those who helped him in the invisible realm. The wife, now more at peace, shares stories with neighbors about miraculous nights and the importance of not forgetting those who lift us up. The couple learns as never before that prosperity is not only an abundance of possessions, but also an abundance of awareness, recognizing the magic of gestures and championing the value of reciprocity. The magic of the elves doesn't return, but the couple never expects it, because they understood deep down in their journey that recognizing and giving thanks is part of the life cycle, and that mature autonomy is born when we know the value of the invisible and celebrate its passage. When the children grow up and ask about the blessing of the elves or about the secret behind the happy days, they receive direct instruction. The world has mysterious hands that weave the destiny of the righteous, but those who do not know how to be grateful do not learn how to support themselves. Generations succeed one another. In the village, the example spreads. Those who give thanks find more paths open. Those who share multiply prosperity, and those who reciprocate become elves to others. Invisible, but profoundly essential. The story becomes legend, and the workshop is immortalized as a space of magic and humility, where the impossible visits the humble and miracles flow only to those who know how to give back, without expecting the gift to be eternal. Never again view work, difficulty, or talent as something isolated. Remember, the world is made of invisible cycles, of small hands that stitch together luck, refine hope, and deliver the secret of transformation to those who persevere even without guarantees. Who in your life has ever been a shoemaker? Who has ever turned into an elf during their darkest days? Share your memory, your gratitude, your miracle story, whether here in the comments or in everyday life. No one walks alone, and all true sustenance springs from a deep understanding of and respect for the energy that moves us. Build bridges. Be grateful to those who helped you prosper. Teach others how to sow miracles, and never allow the cycle to close only for you. Like, share, tag someone who needs to hear this fable, and subscribe for more stories where magic, work, and respect intertwine in narratives that transform those who hear, those who read, those who live. Ultimately, the elves' secret is simple. All prosperity begins with humility and ends with gratitude.